Hello everybody, this is Llodg, and today I'm talking about something I wish I didn't have to talk about. The Devil May Cry Netflix anime isn't good. Now, I want to preface this by saying if you like the anime, don't let my opinion of it sway you at all. I wish I liked this anime more. I wish I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I've seen some people actually enjoy it, and that's great. So I'm not going to be someone who's going to be like, if you like it, you're wrong. And there was stuff to actually like in this anime. It wasn't all 100% bad. But man, I just wish I enjoyed it a lot more. Now, if you don't know, I'm a really big Devil May Cry fan. A few years ago, I finally played through all the games and completely loved them. 3 and 5 are up there with my favorite games of all time. And I really have been wanting to go back and replay these games for the channel. And I'm actually thinking of doing that soon, but I wanted to talk about this anime because I actually just finished the last episode today. But man, this last episode... Okay, so first of all, I want to say, this anime does not follow the games really at all. It has the same premise of Sparta doing what he did, having Virgil and Dante, splitting Hell and Earth. But beyond that, there's not too much similar. Demons are there, but they're a little bit different. There's good demons, which has technically been a thing in Devil May Cry. It's the whole point of the first game, but it's refugee demons rather than just people who are good. So that's different, but that's not the part that I'm mad about, I think that's one of the least aggressive changes they could have done, because it's fine. We have good demons. If we didn't, we wouldn't have a series. But my disappointment comes from just so many things they could have done. Dante gets his devil trigger in this anime. Makes sense. It's a popular, important part of Devil May Cry, but the way he gets it is so lame. But in Devil May Cry 3, when Dante first transforms into the Devil Trigger form, it's because he gets stabbed by Virgil with his own sword. It's such a cool scene that I'm surprised they didn't try to recreate the scene, because I feel this series is all about the aura moments. If they're cool, they're in this anime. But he just gets it by being mad. You had such a good scene. And it didn't even necessarily have to be Virgil. I get the point of oh, Virgil isn't there, we can't do it. But you can just stab him with his own sword, or stab him with the Sword of Sparta by the bunny. But no, he's mad and he gets Devil Trigger playing, which is such a bad choice in my opinion, because one, I remember when Netflix released the song list, where these are some of the songs that are going to appear, and they had Devil Trigger and Bury the Light. But Devil Trigger isn't even Dante's song, it's Nero's. And it's so weird when the only time Devil Trigger gets played is the first time Dante gets his Devil Trigger, and it's so on the nose. It's so weird. Also, another lame part is when Lady gets Catalina Ann, it's kind of built up throughout the series, where you see the briefcase it's in, and then she gets it, and she uses it for literally 40 seconds and then loses it. This is her iconic weapon. It's if Dante didn't have his sword. It's if Dante didn't have his guns. It's if Virgil didn't have a katana. You're giving her these lame, regular pistols to use throughout the whole thing when she has this really cool rocket launcher that you've been building up throughout the whole series. And then she uses it once, and then immediately gets it thrown out of her hands, and she has to resort back to what she was doing. It's so lame. Enzo uses it, and I say uses in a very light term. He picks it up and then dies. They definitely shouldn't have killed Arkham, because that's really lame, and I think that's an important part to Lady's story, and about how she kind of overcomes demons, because she hates demons in the beginning of 3. And in this anime, and she kind of gets over it, not with Dante, which is a little disappointing, because I think that would have been a cool moment for their relationship. But then she gets it with these nameless characters, so that's kind of lame. And Arkham in the games, he kills his wife, and really, Mary just doesn't have a great time in that game. But it shows how evil of a character Arkham is. And in this anime, he does it on accident, the demon blood or whatever, because he's transforming himself into a demon, and it's weird. But the demon blood or whatever turns him into a monster, and he kills his wife in front of Lady. I don't know, it's a little lame because in the game he's evil and he's doing everything on purpose. But it just kind of ruins Lady's motivation. What does Lady do from this point? Other than be basically a cop against demons, even though she doesn't want to. And overall I thought the demons were fine. The bunny I think was a cool character. I loved his voice. And his design is really cool, and I'm glad they brought him back from the manga. But they used a lot of demons from future games, and I'm sure that's because they're oh, what has the coolest design and what's different. But they used demons from Demon C3, and they changed Agni and Ruja's designs. They gave them heads when their heads were on their sword, It's a little weird because I guess Dante doesn't want to have any different weapons in this anime, which I think would have been a really cool part of adapting the games, is showing how he picks up weapons from the enemies, but he doesn't. So they changed that design, which is fine, but they also had like that Echidna snake lady from 4. It's fine, I guess. And they also had, I don't even remember, it was from 5. It was one of those bosses where Lady and Trish were used as like batteries for them. I don't know, I think overall the demons are fine. They mispronounced Mundus's name. They just did it how it's spelled, even though in the games it's clearly said Mundus and not Mundus, which sounds so... it just sounds lame to just be called Mundus instead of like Mundus. That's a small change, but that was something that irked me, because all the other names, for the most part, are correct. Like, they don't mispronounce anything. I didn't expect Kevin Conroy to be in this anime, but I suppose this anime's been in production so long that he was able to like give his voice and voice act. I don't like his character, but his voice was good. And talking about his character, I'm going to talk about the thing that I dislike the most in this anime, and it's the end of episode 8. And this episode made me make this video. If this episode ended a different way, I think I may have not even made a video on this. Maybe in like a review, I would say, oh, I didn't like this part. But this is the part that made me hate this series, and it's how it ends. So it ends, the big battle, Dante gets the sword, he's able to like clear off hell and whatever, make the two dimensions like separate again, like Sparta did. And then they have a moment where it feels so much like the end of DMC3, where the morning comes, it's Lady and Dante kind of talking, kind of being friendly, you know? Also, throughout the series, Dante calls Lady Lady, and it doesn't even feel as like fluid as in the original game. And Dante calls other people by their names, you know, like he calls Enzo by his name, but like, he just keeps calling her Lady. And at the end, they're like, oh man, we're gonna call ourselves Lady and Dante or whatever. And Lady's like, you know my name's Mary. And he's like, well, I like Lady better. In the games, that's not how it happens. Lady at this point is so fed up with what her father did that throughout the game, she's kind of like shed her past. She doesn't want to be known as Mary anymore. It's an important part of why she takes up the name Lady. It's not just, oh, Dante calls me this. It's, you know what, you call me that, you call me whatever you want because I don't want to be Mary. It didn't just happen because Dante didn't want to learn her name. But in this anime, he's like, yeah, you're Lady, that's who you're gonna be. And I guess Lady's fed up with this because she also does the worst thing and like paralyzes Dante and then takes the sword and the amulet and then gives them back to Darkom because Darkom's now decided to invade Hell. And it's something that was building up, but in this last episode, the last like 3 minutes are Darkom invades Hell with American Idiot playing, and it feels so on the nose and so weird because it happens so fast. America does that. They're like making plants and industries, imprisoning demons. It's like, this is stuff that we knew Kevin Conroy's character wanted to do, the vice president, but it happens so fast. Dante loses the sword, he loses the amulet, he's in prison. He's like in what Shadow the Hedgehog was in Sonic 3. It's so weird and such like a tonal shift from how the series felt like it was gonna end, or how the season was gonna end, that I don't get it. It felt like it was a whole different show at the end. This is also what doesn't make sense. Lady's already lied to the vice president before in this very episode. The vice president's like, you got the amulet, right? And she's like, must have fallen in with the bunny, because that's what Dante says. And you would think, if she's gonna paralyze him and imprison him for seemingly ever because he's a demon, she would have said, Dante has it, let's go get him, he's right here, let me betray him. That's what I just don't get. It felt like the plot was like, okay, we're gonna do this now. Sorry, Lady, remember all these good things you had going around? Not anymore. And it sucks. It sucks so much. It makes me not want to watch the second season, because the second season did get approved, and it's coming, but I think it's one of those Netflix things where season 1 and 2 are technically one season, and they kind of order them together, but they don't like officially say it unless something really fails. So I'm sure this was kind of the plan, because imagine this series ending like that. I think if they didn't have Lady betray Dante and Dante be imprisoned, this series wouldn't be as bad. The US taking over Hell does go a little fast, and it's kind of weird, and they even throw in the main villain from DMC2. But to also have Dante just be trapped is so weird. Like, if the beginning of the second season is Lady freeing him, I'm gonna be mad, because that's not how her character acted. I just hate it. I hate it so much. We also got Virgil's reveal, which, like, if you were paying attention, you would know he's alive. but also, of course, they're gonna have Virgil. They also had him play Bury the Light in a very on-the-nose way where he's like, I am the storm, and it's like, I am the storm that has awakened. And it's lame, it's just as lame as Devil Trigger. But I'm also disappointed because I thought for a second they were gonna have Virgil be Nello Angelo, and that's how the bunny was gonna refer to him as. Or if you're a fan of the games, you'd be like, oh, that's Virgil. But that's just Virgil's demon form. So it's just lame, and he's like, oh, I'm with Mundus, and I'm freeing you guys. I don't know. It's just such a weird thing to where I'm like, how did Virgil get here? Because Virgil is always someone who wants power for himself. And the only reason he was working with Mundus in DMC 1 was because he was trapped in hell. I think those are all my thoughts. I honestly think until that last 3 minutes, I would have said this was maybe a 6 out of 10 or even maybe a 7 out of 10. But that ending just ruins so much. And there's so much that they could have done to make this anime better by going to the games and more accurately adapting them. We don't even get the proper respect for Lady's name. It's just kind of thrown out there. And it's disappointing, because I really wanted to like this anime. I guess one of the good things is that now I want to replay all the DMC games and make videos on them. We'll see when that actually happens. I know DMC 1 is very short. Yeah, so let me know what you think of the DMC anime if you really liked it. I'd love to hear what you liked about it. And if you didn't like it, then you can tell me what you didn't like. It's probably a lot of the same things, but even harsher, because I think for the most part I'm not as harsh on things as some people. So I hope you enjoyed the video, have a good day, and goodbye.
Finally! I was getting tired of playing your childish game!